The phone rings at 3:47 a.m. in a suite at the Beverly Hills Hotel, February 1957. Marilyn Monroe doesn't answer it. She sits in the bathroom, door locked, water running in the sink, to mask the sound of her voice. She's speaking to someone low, urgent, intimate, but the studio logs show no call was placed. The hotel's switchboard recorded nothing, and when her publicist arrives at dawn, to find her asleep on the bathroom floor, still wearing yesterday's makeup, Marilyn will insist, softly, "I was alone all night." The question isn't who she was talking to. The question is why. There is no record that person ever existed at all. Hollywood, 1955. Marilyn Monroe is everywhere and nowhere at once. Her face sells magazines. Her body sells tickets. Her name sells dreams. But somewhere between the photographs and the premieres, between the studio and the bedroom, Marilyn herself has become difficult to find. She's late to every set, forgets her lines, shows up trembling, or doesn't show up at all. The directors are furious. The producers threaten suspension. The press writes think pieces about difficult actresses and feminine hysteria. What none of them know is that Marilyn has started keeping something close, closer than her acting coach, closer than her makeup artist, closer than the pills that help her sleep. She calls it her system. It begins innocuously. A leather-bound planner appears in her dressing room at Fox Studios during the production of The 7-Year Itch. No card, no sender, just a book with her initials embossed in gold on the cover. Inside, the pages are thick cream paper, empty except for a single line written on the first page in elegant script. For the woman who cannot be late to her own life. Marilyn keeps it, not because she needs another planner. Her life is managed by a dozen other people, but because holding it makes her feel like someone somewhere understands that she's drowning. Within a week, things begin to shift. Call times appear written in her planner the night before anyone officially notifies her. Interview questions she'll be asked show up days in advance, allowing her to prepare answers that sound spontaneous, but feel safe. Notes about which photographer will be gentle, which reporter will go for the throat. The handwriting is always the same, elegant, assured, and never hers. She asks everyone. Her maid hasn't seen anyone. Her driver notices nothing unusual. The studio guard logs show no unauthorized visitors. Yet the planner fills itself, page by page, guiding Marilyn through the chaos of her existence, with an invisible hand. By late 1955, she cannot function without it. She starts writing back. Questions at first, "Who are you?" Then confessions. "I'm so tired." Then secrets she's never told another soul. The planner becomes a confessional, a therapist, a friend. And always, the next morning, there are responses. Not advice exactly, never condescending, but reflections, observations, as if someone is watching her life. From a privileged angle she cannot access herself. The studio thinks she's seeing a psychiatrist. Her lovers think she's found religion. Her friends worry she's slipping further away. None of them know that Marilyn has begun to structure her entire existence around the guidance of someone she's never met, never spoken to, never seen, someone who, according to every record, every witness, every logical explanation, does not exist. By 1956, the relationship has evolved into something darker, something necessary. Marilyn is no longer just reading the planner, she's obeying it. When it tells her to skip a party, she stays home. When it warns her about a man, she avoids him. When it suggests she take a particular role, she fights her agents until they relent. Her career improbably begins to stabilize. She arrives on time. Her performances sharpen. Critics notice a new depth, a new control. But the cost is mounting. She cannot make a decision without consulting the book. Cannot go to sleep without checking tomorrow's entry. She carries it everywhere, clutched against her chest, like a child with a blanket. When someone tries to look at it, she becomes wild, feral, protective. Her publicist once reached for it during a meeting, and Marilyn screamed, an animal sound that emptied the room. The entries become more specific, more controlling. Wear the black dress, not the red. Don't answer when he calls. The photographer in the lobby is not who he claims to be. Marilyn follows each instruction perfectly, and each time impossibly the guidance proves correct. The black dress photographs better. The man who called is later revealed to be selling stories to the tabloid. The photographer is escorted out by security for carrying unauthorized recording equipment. It's as if someone is watching her from every angle, anticipating every threat, orchestrating her protection from a place outside of time. She tries to test it. One night in her apartment, alone, she writes a question: "What am I thinking right now?" The next morning, the response waits. "You're thinking that if you could just disappear, really disappear, everyone would be better off. But you're wrong. They need the idea of you more than you need them." Marilyn does not sleep for 3 days after that. The paranoia sets in slowly, then all at once. If someone is guiding her, protecting her, knowing her thoughts before she speaks them, who are they? What do they want? And more terrifying, what happens if she stops obeying? She tries. She has to. One afternoon in 1957, the planner tells her not to attend a particular industry party. Marilyn goes anyway, defiant, desperate to prove she's still in control of her own life. The party is fine, nothing happens. She returns home, relieved, vindicated, free. The next morning, there's a photograph slipped inside the planner, a photo of her at the party, laughing, unaware, with a man's hand barely visible at the edge of the frame. On the back, written in that elegant script, "He was carrying a weapon. You were never in danger, because I made sure you weren't alone." Marilyn tears her apartment apart, looking for cameras, finds nothing. She hires a private investigator to track down who's been entering her home. He finds no evidence of break-ins, no fingerprints, nothing disturbed. He suggests she's doing it herself, sleepwalking perhaps, or experiencing episodes she doesn't remember. He uses the word dissociation gently, as if Marilyn is made of glass. She fires him, but the seed is planted. What if she is doing this to herself? What if the assistant, the guide, the guardian angel with perfect handwriting, is just another fragment of her mind, trying to survive the impossible pressure of being Marilyn Monroe? The thought is somehow worse than surveillance. If she's protecting herself, it means no one else is. It means she's alone, inventing comfort from nothing, speaking to herself across the hours, like a ghost haunting her own life. She starts to test this theory. She leaves the planner in one room, and sleeps in another with the door locked. In the morning, the planner has new entries. She gives the book to a friend for safekeeping. The next day, it's back on her nightstand. She throws it away entirely, into the ocean from a pier in Malibu, a theatrical gesture at sunset. It's waiting on her pillow when she comes home. August 1959. Marilyn Monroe is filming Some Like It Hot, giving what many will later call the performance of her career. On screen she is radiant, luminous, tragic, funny, real. Off screen, she is barely holding on. The planner entries have become strange, cryptic, less like guidance, and more like poetry. The woman you're pretending to be is becoming more real than you are. Every reflection is a kind of death. Soon you won't need me anymore. That's when you'll miss me most. Marilyn doesn't know what this means, but she feels it coming. The end of something. The dissolution of the one relationship that has felt honest in a city built entirely on lies. She makes a decision. One night, she sets up a camera in her bedroom, a small film camera, the kind used for home movies. She aims it at the desk where she keeps the planner. She loads it with enough film for 6 hours. Then she takes a sleeping pill and goes to bed, determined to finally see the truth. When she wakes, the film is gone. In its place, inside the camera, is a handwritten note on that same cream paper. Some mysteries are kinder than their solution. Marilyn stares at the note for a very long time. Her breath shakes, her hands tremble, and that is when she understands. She will never see who writes in the planner. She will never prove they exist. She will never be free of them, and she will never know if they is someone else, or just herself, fractured into pieces, trying desperately to save what's left. The planner remains in her life. Through 1960, the entries continue. Her career continues. The world keeps watching, desiring, consuming, never knowing that the most famous woman in the world structures her entire existence around conversations with someone who leaves no footprint, no shadow, no proof. In December 1960, Marilyn writes one final question in the planner. Will you ever tell me who you are? The response comes the next morning. The last entry she will ever receive. I'm whoever you need me to be to survive one more day. Isn't that enough? She closes the book. She doesn't write in it again. But she keeps it close. Always close. A talisman against loneliness. A reminder that even in a world of fabricated relationships and manufactured intimacy, she once had something real. Or something that felt real. Which in Hollywood might be the same thing. The planner was never found after Marilyn's life ended. No family member inherited it. No estate auction listed it. It vanished as mysteriously as it appeared, leaving only questions behind. If Marilyn Monroe created an invisible assistant to guide her through the horror of fame, does that make her delusional or brilliant? And if someone else was writing in that planner all along, watching, protecting, controlling, then who were they? And what did they want from the most desired woman in the world? In the darkness of her locked bathroom, at the Beverly Hills Hotel, with water running to mask her whispers. Maybe, just maybe, she wasn't talking to herself. After all, maybe someone was listening. Maybe someone always was.